I caught my fiancée sending pics of our daughter to her ex. She started acting defensive when confronted. Now, EL asked for a paternity test, and she's begging me not to, saying this will destroy our relationship. Hello Reddit eyes plus here. I never thought a random Tuesday afternoon would unravel my entire life. My fiancée, Clara, and I have been together for 5 years, and our 3-year-old daughter, Lily, has been the center of my world since the day she was born. I trusted Clara implicitly, or at least I thought I did, until I saw the messages. It started innocently enough. Clara left her phone unlocked on the kitchen counter while she was in the shower. A notification popped up. Thanks for the pic. She's beautiful. The sender's name made my stomach drop. Her ex, Mark. I told myself it was probably innocent. Maybe it was an old picture of Lily or something unrelated. But curiosity gnawed at me. Against my better judgment, I scrolled through the chat. My hands trembled as I read their messages. There they were, recent photos of Lily taken just days ago. Mark gushed about how much she looked like Clara, and him. When Clara came downstairs, I confronted her immediately, holding up her phone. Why the hell are you sending pictures of Lily to him? Her face paled and she stammered, It's not what you think. He just asked how we were doing, and I thought it would be nice to show him how Lily's growing up. Nice? I barked, incredulous. You thought it would be nice to send pictures of our daughter to your ex? She shifted from defensive to dismissive in record time. You're overreacting, Jake. He's just being friendly. Friendly. Right. Something about the way she avoided my eyes set off alarm bells. I pushed harder. Is there something you're not telling me? Why does he care so much about Lily? Her lip quivered as she tried to find the right words. Finally, she snapped. You're being ridiculous. I can't believe you don't trust me. That's when I said it. The question that had been lurking in the back of my mind since I saw those messages. Is Lily even mine? Her reaction was instant. Tears welled up, and she looked at me like I'd slapped her. How could you say that? Of course she's yours. But I couldn't shake the gnawing doubt. Then you won't mind if we get a paternity test. Her demeanor shifted completely. She fell to her knees, sobbing. Jake, please, don't do this. A test will ruin everything. It'll destroy us. I stared at her, my heart pounding. If there's nothing to hide, why are you so afraid? Her pleas became desperate. Because it'll show you don't trust me. Isn't that enough to break us? The more she begged, the more suspicious I became. My mind raced through every interaction we'd had since Lily was born. The lingering phone calls she claimed were with her mom. The occasional cryptic texts she brushed off as work stuff. Her reluctance to introduce Lily to certain members of her family. All of it now felt like puzzle pieces falling into place. I packed a bag and told her I needed space to think. Her tears followed me out the door, but I didn't turn back. I stayed with a buddy that night, replaying everything in my head. The next morning, I booked a paternity test. I didn't tell Clara, but I took Lily to the clinic under the guise of a father-daughter day. The guilt gnawed at me, but the need for the truth was stronger. When I got home, Clara was waiting. Her face was puffy from crying, her eyes filled with dread. Did you do it? She whispered. I nodded. Her knees buckled and she sank onto the couch. Jake, I need to tell you something. My chest tightened. Go on. She hesitated, then spoke in a voice so quiet I could barely hear her. There's a chance, a small chance, that Lily might be Mark's. My world stopped. She tried to explain, talking about how she and Mark had a goodbye moment before we got serious. She swore she didn't know who Lily's father was, but convinced herself it had to be me. I didn't want to hurt you, she said. You're the only father Lily knows. I couldn't even look at her. You let me love her, raise her, believe she was mine, and you didn't know for sure. She sobbed harder. I didn't know how to tell you, and when I saw how good you were with her, I thought, what difference would it make? What difference would it make? To her, maybe none. But to me, it was everything. I told her I needed time to process and left the house again. The test results wouldn't be back for a week, but I already felt like I'd lost everything. I'm not sure what hurts more, the possibility that Lily isn't mine or the betrayal from the woman I thought I'd spend my life with. Either way, the truth is coming, and there's no going back. The paternity test results came back a week later, but by then I'd already made up my mind about Clara. Whether Lily was biologically mine or not, the betrayal cut too deep. I couldn't stay in a relationship built on lies and half-truths. The email from the clinic confirmed what I both dreaded and expected. Lily wasn't mine. My hands trembled as I read the report. My heart broke. Not for me, but for her. She was an innocent child caught in the web of Clara's lies. I went home that evening to tell Clara it was over. She was waiting for me in the living room, looking like a shadow of herself. Her eyes were bloodshot, and her hands fidgeted with the hem of her sweater. Jake? She started. her voice trembling. "Before you say anything, I want to apologize. I know I've hurt you, but please, don't give up on us. We can fix this." I held up the paternity test results. "Fix what, Clara? You lied to me for 3 years. You let me believe Lily was mine. You sent pictures of her to Mark knowing full well he might be her father. What exactly is there to fix?" Her tears flowed freely as she tried to explain. "I didn't want to lose you. You're a better father than he could ever be. You thought you could manipulate me," I interrupted. "You thought you could keep this secret forever, didn't you?" My voice cracked, despite my anger. Clara dropped to her knees, clutching at my hands. "Please, Jake, I'll do anything. I'll cut Mark out of our lives. I'll never talk to him again. Just don't leave us." I stepped back, shaking my head. "It's too late for that. I've already contacted a lawyer." Her face crumpled. "No! Jake, please! Don't do this! Lily needs you! I need you!" "That's where you're wrong," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. "Lily doesn't need me. She needs the truth. And you? You don't need me. You just need someone to clean up the mess you made." Over the next few weeks, things moved quickly. I filed for divorce and requested joint custody of Lily. Legally, I wasn't obligated to pursue custody since she wasn't biologically mine, but I couldn't abandon her. She was still the little girl who called me daddy, who clung to me when she was scared, and who smiled at me like I was her whole world. She didn't choose this. Clara, of course, fought back. She argued that since Lily wasn't my biological child, I had no right to custody. The irony wasn't lost on me. First, she wanted me to believe I was Lily's father, and now she was using the truth to keep me away. Mark entered the picture soon after. He suddenly wanted to play the role of father, claiming he had a right to be in Lily's life. Watching him waltz in like some kind of savior made my blood boil. This man, who hadn't cared about Clara or Lily until it suited him, now wanted to claim a spot in her life. The court battle was grueling. Clara's lies were exposed, and my lawyer painted a clear picture of how unstable her choices had been. In the end, the judge ruled in my favor. I was granted visitation rights as Lily's psychological parent, while Mark was given limited visitation under strict supervision. The day I told Lily about the changes was the hardest. Sitting her down, I explained as simply as I could. "Sweetheart, you know I love you more than anything, right?" She nodded, her big brown eyes full of innocence. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Things are going to be a little different. You'll still see me all the time, but you'll also spend some time with Mark. He's someone who cares about you, too." Her face scrunched in confusion. "But you're my daddy." My heart shattered, but I smiled through the pain. "I'll always be your daddy no matter what." As time passed, I started rebuilding my life. Therapy helped me process the betrayal and grief. I focused on being the best father I could be for Lily, even if our time together was now shared. Clara tried reaching out several times, begging for forgiveness, and even suggesting we try again. For Lily's sake, I made it clear there was no going back. Forgiveness might come with time, but trust was something she'd never earn again. As for Mark, he faded in and out of Lily's life, proving once again that biology doesn't make someone a parent. It's the love, the time, and the effort you put in. The divorce was finalized a year later. Standing outside the courthouse, I felt a bittersweet sense of closure. My family wasn't what I thought it would be, but I still had Lily, and that was enough.